What's up, Basketball Brain fans and members? Today we're going to watch an old school game again. It's Jordan versus Stackhouse. Now, when Stackhouse came into the NBA, people were saying that he was the next Jordan, that he might even be better than Jordan. So Stackhouse is a rookie here. And Stackhouse came out before the season and said, the NBA is not going to be that hard. Why is the NBA not going to be that hard? Because I was playing Jordan one-on-one in the summer, and I was beating him. Now, a lot of people dispute that. They don't think it actually happened. But Stackhouse said that. So they're playing the Sixers, and Stackhouse is on the Sixers now. And guess what happens? Jordan comes out and obliterates Stackhouse. I mean, just obliterates him. And what's really interesting psychologically is Jordan doesn't force the issue this game at all. He's very in the moment. He knows what he wants to do. Like we talked about with Westbrook, there's a difference between having a game plan and an agenda. A game plan can be changed. An agenda, well, once you get into an agenda, you're really stuck because you become stubborn. So Jordan's just, you can see he's not out of control. He's very smooth. He's very fluid. And you can learn a lot from this just by the way he comes into this game. Watch this pass. Unbelievable. I remember watching this game live, because this was back before the internet, so you had to get in front of a TV to catch this. There was no illegal streaming. We were poor, so we had no NBA on demand or whatever the heck it was called. So you had to make sure you're in front of a TV to watch the game. But you can just see how smooth Jordan is. And when LeBron's playing well, when Durant's playing well, when Harden's playing well, you see the same sort of smoothness. And no doubt about it, Stackhouse was a very good player. But the idea that you could come into the NBA and, do what Jordan's doing, it's blasphemous, as Stephen A. Smith would say. It doesn't make any sense. So Jordan came in, everything's in perfect rhythm, and he's putting on a show for this rookie. And I had a question in the comment section the other day about what do you do with a rival, like somebody you really don't like that you got to play against? The answer is, as simple as it sounds, is play your game. To have a faint intention about what you want to do, to have an idea about what you want the game to turn out as, but don't go out there and try to force it. Let the game come to you. Let the game come to you. In the Basketball Brain members only section, the premium section, I just did a long talk on how Jordan did always let the game come to him. And that's why I think he often got in what I call the hyper zone. There's the zone where, you're just playing well game in and game out. And then there's the hyper zone where you're 6 for 8 with 14 points. That's a whole nother level of zone. There's multiple zones. I've never seen anyone ever just go a game where they didn't miss a shot. I think Christian Laettner did it for Duke at one point. Maybe he didn't miss a shot the entire game, but that was in a national championship game. Very rare. I mean, I've had some games where I've gotten the zone, and I'm probably 75, 65%, and that feels like you haven't missed a shot. So I can't imagine what it's like to really never miss a shot. I don't know what I'd call that zone. The hyper zone. I don't know. I don't even know what I'd call it. What's a ludicrous zone? We'll steal from Elon Musk and Tesla and call it ludicrous zone instead of ludicrous speed. That was a famous play right there. Jordan, just that little pump fake. You can see Stackhouse kind of over trying there. Not really over trying, but kind of trying to make a highlight on Jordan by blocking his jump shot. And Jordan's just smooth, and that's it. Same there. Stackhouse isn't even close. Didn't get a hand up on that contest. Oh, man, that would have been a great dunk. Great dunk. I was watching, I forget who it was. I think it was Kenyon Martin. It was Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin says, the great thing about MJ is he would go to the hole and tell you, hold that. So he'd go up and start dunking on these big guys. And LeBron hadn't really done that through his career. So LeBron hears this, and remember that huge dunk he had? I think it was against the Celtics or the Nets. I can't remember. He just threw down on somebody. So I like the fact that LeBron hears what people are critiquing about him, and he's trying to fix his game. Jordan did that too. When Jordan came into the league, they said Jordan couldn't shoot. He wasn't a great shooter. Jordan's the best shooter I've seen inside the three-point line, mid-range game. Skip Bayless was saying the other day on ESPN that KD has the best mid-range he's ever seen. I don't know. Maybe he's had periods where he's as good as Jordan, like game 1 against the Rockets was beautiful. I love fadeaways. For the life of me, I don't understand why more NBA guys that are super athletic don't shoot fadeaways. It's an unstoppable shot. I'm 6 foot. I shoot fadeaways constantly against big guys, or I did. And, I was playing, like I said, in NYC in a rec league while I was in college, and that's why I could play with those guys. I wasn't as big, I wasn't as strong, I wasn't as fast, but I had a fadeaway. Now, I couldn't shoot a fadeaway when I first started playing. I had to master the fundamentals, and you have to get strong, and it becomes an art form to shoot a fadeaway. But once you get it, it's an unstoppable shot. But Skip Bayless was saying, KD has the best jump mid-range game he's ever seen. I completely disagree. I think he, at times, is up there with Jordan, no doubt about it. But we're always talking about consistency. You have to do it game in and game out for an entire career. If you don't do it game in and game out for an entire career, how can you be the greatest? Once Jordan patented that fadeaway, that post-up and fadeaway, I've never seen anybody really able right there. He's doing it right there. It's an unstoppable shot, especially if you're 6'6", or like KD, 6'11". There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. They say the Jabbar skyhook's the most unstoppable shot. Sure, but the most consistently unstoppable shot is the fadeaway, simply because it's a more precise shot. The skyhook, there's a lot more room for error, no matter how much you practice it. So you can see the score here. This was an obliteration. Jordan played 3 quarters, had 48 points, and Vernon Maxwell Mad Max was always talking trash to Jordan and saying, Jordan, Pippen haven't done anything for me. And Jordan shut him down too and scored a lot on him. But it's just watching a master. It's like being in the studio of Michelangelo or Da Vinci and watching them work. That's what it was like growing up watching Jordan play. It was like watching Mozart compose music. I think Phil Jackson actually had in his book, Sacred Hoops, the chapter was called "What's It Like to Coach Michelangelo?" And it sounds kind of funny because you'd think Michelangelo wouldn't need a coach. But everyone at certain points in their life needs a coach, and Jordan needed Phil Jackson, I think. People give Phil Jackson too much credit. I think Jordan would have won the same amount of finals with any coach. I think the triangle helped him do it more in a more dominant fashion. But I've said this since the beginning. When Jordan started lifting weights, he never really lost again. And that sounds kind of silly, but I think his frail frame, he was very tough, but his frail frame against the Pistons really hurt him. And he finally, after losing the 3rd time, found Tim Grover, started lifting weights, and the NBA was never the same again. Jordan was never the same again. The game you watch today, when you see how big LeBron is, what in great shape Durant is, and even someone like Curry, who's gotten muscular at the beginning of the season, people are saying, I think it was Max Kellerman saying, has he gotten too strong for a shot? I think Shannon Sharp had said the same thing. Well, the reason you see these guys in such great shape who are ripped is because Jordan started the lifting thing. Go back and watch the NBA before Jordan started lifting. They're all super thin guys. So Jordan impacted the game in so many different ways. In this game, I love how he came out. He knew what he wanted to do, but if at any time the game didn't allow that domination to happen, he would have stepped back and used his resources, any resources he had, to win the game. If it meant he only scored 25 points and had to get 20 rebounds, he would have done that. If it meant, it's a dog fight to get the win and I need to start driving to the hole and not relying on these jump shots, he would have done that. So, again, he had a game plan. He had an idea of what he wanted to do against this guy who was talking trash about him, but it was no preset agenda. There was no preset agenda. The only time I've seen Jordan with a preset agenda is when him and Pippen went after Kukoc in the Olympics. Now, on defense, you can kind of have a preset agenda. However, if you do, you can also overtry and end up in foul trouble like Westbrook was against Rubio in the playoff series earlier in the playoffs. Anyways, just some fun things to think about. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.